The Big Top Banana.
Welcome to iLife. I'm Danny Fontana, the Big Top Banana. Hey, how many of you remember Benny Elam? Rabbi Benny Elam, actually, was a member of the Israeli Knesset. Interesting, fascinating guy that we had on the show, I'm going to guess it was a month and a half, 2 months ago. Basically, what we were talking to Rabbi Elam about was the takeover of Gaza. He was, as I recall, deathly opposed to that. Felt like they were making a huge mistake. And I don't want to put words in his mouth, but basically to me, he was saying, we're not careful, we're going to blow this thing. We're going to lose this whole deal. Well, joining me in studio today is a disciple of Rabbi Elam. His name is Scott Jacobs, and he is a media advocate. Basically, Benny produced a movie, a documentary, if you will, called Stab in the Heart, and you distribute it here in the United States. Is that correct?
Yes, that's right.
Okay, first of all, welcome to the Danny Fontana Show. Now, tell me what it is that you do with Benny.
We try to help the media and through the media, the general public, understand the cultural and religious aspects of the global cultural conflict.
The global cultural conflict being what's happening between Christianity and Islam.
Radical Islam's war against the world.
Yeah, everybody's an infidel. They all should die.
Anyone who's not a believer in Islam and Allah as a supreme being, there are Quranic and religious imperatives to either convert or kill.
Yeah, you don't have to sugarcoat it. You're saying exactly what I think.
Okay.
It's exactly what I think.
Well,
okay, I think there's a plot to take over the world. I do. I think it's being fostered by radical Islamists.
Right.
My proof of that is what's happening through Al Qaeda, 9/11, Afghanistan, Osama bin Laden, and the deafening silence that comes from the mainstream Islamic people. I don't hear anybody coming out going, you know what? We condemn this. This is bad. This isn't us, and we'll help you fight them. I don't see that. So that leads me to think that their intentions are not good towards people that don't believe what they believe. And I think they want us dead.
They want to impose Islamic law, Islamic rule over America, over the West, and reestablish the caliphate from Indonesia to as far as Spain. This is Al Qaeda's goal.
Well, they've already done that. They're pretty close. I mean, Eastern Europe is pretty much, isn't something like 80% Muslim now or something like that? It's a huge number.
And, the French riots were largely about establishing an autonomous Islamic state within France.
Right.
Where French law wouldn't apply and Islamic law, Sharia, would apply. And, of course, it's a very dangerous element. And the fact that the media underreported the religious
Now, why do you think the media chooses to ignore this rather obvious situation?
In my opinion, it's because most journalists are secular humanists. And as secular humanists, they believe that all people are equal and that religions are sacrosanct, not open to scrutiny, not open to examination.
Right.
And when sedition is planned in churches or in mosques, then it becomes a society's problem.
Yeah, so basically the liberal doctrinaires, if you will, are saying, oh, no, they couldn't possibly hurt us, or no, they don't want to hurt us, because in their own mind they're thinking, why would I want to hurt them? Right. So therefore, let's all just get along. And the reality is there's evil intent here.
Absolutely.
Why?
Two reasons. First of all, there's a radical interpretation of Islam, an orthodox interpretation of Islam, which is very violent. Islam spread throughout the world, throughout history, by means of violence and crusade and conquest.
Yeah. Now they would say to you, the critics of what you're saying, that we did the same thing. The Christians in the Middle Ages did the same thing with the Crusades. Got on horses with swords and went and killed a whole bunch of people because they didn't believe what we believed.
What's happening in Israel now, in the Middle East? Yeah. It's really the proving ground for this conflict that you're talking about. And when we analyze what's happening between the Palestinians and the Israelis, it's really part of the lesser jihad as part of a greater jihad.
Right.
And that is to reestablish Muslim rule throughout the world.
So do you think it has...
certainly through the Holy Land.
Do you think it has eschatologic implications? Do you think that this is part of the fulfillment of Revelation, if you will?
I believe so.
You do? So you
absolutely.
think this is one of the conflagrations in the end times? Do you? So you think we're pretty close?
Yeah.
See, now I got issues with that. Now I got real issues with that. Not that whether we're living in the end times or not, and by the way, I think we are. Mm-hmm. I don't know how long it's got, though, and I don't think anybody does, scripturally. Mm-hmm. If we talk about, for example, take Mark 13:13 in the Olivet Discourse, where he says, nobody knows. The only one that knows is the Father. I don't even know. Jesus talking. I don't even know when it's going to be over. Okay? So then, if we're talking about this is the inner Advent period, et cetera, we're living in the end times, starting from AD 70 until now, okay? I get a little leery when somebody says, I know when it's going to happen, or we're close.
I'm not saying how close we are, but when Iran, which is the Islamic Republic, a theocracy, gets not only plans, but develops a nuclear weapons program, and then the president comes out and says, it's our goal to wipe Israel off the map, off the face of the earth. And by the way, he wouldn't mind putting it in the hands of the terrorist groups in the United States
but you got the United States on our side against that. I'm Danny Fontana. This is Scott Jacobs. It's an interesting conversation. Keep it right here. We'll continue when we come back.